The world of politics never ceases to amaze me and actually confound me. AOC, the person I'm one of those unlikely people to actually have any agreement with, she admitted that insider trading is rampant in Congress, and she was talking to Jon Stewart of the Daily Show about this, and she's like against this. And I mean, I thought because I always thought she was kind of an opportunist. That's the reason why she got into politics because her whole life turned around after she got elected. But I have to agree with this. I mean, and I think anybody who's rational and from all parties, no party, has got to say we should not allow congressmen and senators to choose what they're going to do and what spending bills they're going to do because they got stock in those companies that are going to benefit from it. I think this is ridiculous. We allowed it to go on. I think that guy from Texas,
Crenshaw.
Crenshaw, he's so angry about people even bringing the question about this. I think it's ludicrous. I mean, why would we continue doing that? What are your guys' thoughts on this, man? I mean, I'm just amazed that she even brought it up.
My thoughts are that she brought it up to be the hero, and this is more of a cover up than anything else. Just think about it. It's like damage control.
That could be.
Let AOC go out there and bang us up a little, and we'll just keep on doing what we do, but we'll make people, we'll give them sound bites and make people happy.
There could be a backdoor deal and stuff like that. Like for favoritism and stuff like that. I mean, it might be just for show.
She
But
never said that she was going to co-sponsor a bill or this should stop today, did she?
no,
She never. She just talks. She never does anything. All she ever does is talk. I never listen. When she opens her mouth, I just walk out of her room. She doesn't. There's nothing AOC says to me as she doesn't put anything behind anything she talks about.
Right. There's no bill.
There-
There's no demanding Congress
No.
stop doing this today. No, it's just like I said. It's like them doing damage control to cover their tracks. They make the dum dums happy with the soundbite. Oh, AOC was really talking mean,
well,
Yeah.
but she's not doing anything.
well, because it is
Tell me one thing she's ever done.
but it requires a lot of work to write a bill. So nobody stepped forward with a bill that she can throw off her and put her sponsorship to it and stuff. So yeah, you got a valid point there.
No, you tell me one thing she's ever done.
Nothing.
she's
We
Nothing.
can't.
I can't.
Because we don't follow AOC.
See, she's not irrelevant, but I mean, I was just surprised that she had this conversation. I was surprised by it, but
Well,
I mean, she doesn't. And that's all she ever does is talk.
that's all
talking
any
to you.
congressman
She talks.
does is talk.
John Kennedy
They
down there,
all do-
Texas.
They all do. Mr. Suspenders,
yeah.
Lindsey Graham, they only talk. They never ever say, "Oh, this is wrong. We shouldn't be doing this." But they never say, "I'm going to sponsor or co-sponsor a bill to do away with this." Do they? Not never.
No, you
never.
gotta- you
But
gotta
they
know that.
wag the fingers at those people that they have come and speak in front of them.
This is why they get pissed off at Trump. I think. To be honest with you, because Trump, all he does is action.
Yeah, he
He
takes
does.
But
He
Trump-
doesn't talk. He
Trump
just-
signed over, I think, over 300 executive orders last week.
Yeah.
Trump is coming through. He's come through with J6.
Right.
He's come through. He got the religious people who went to abortion clinics and got put
Got
in
them
jail
freed.
for praying.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's done
But
stuff.
you have a list of questions in front of you.
Yes, I can go back to my job where the thing is. How about the person in Detroit, the rapper the 554-pound rapper who got
Yeah,
rejected from?
What do
What do you think about that?
I forget what her name is, but it really doesn't matter. But she's morbidly obese.
Right.
A poor guy comes up with his car
And you
and
can't-
it said that he can't let her in because she can't fit, and she's upset now. She's suing that driver and Lyft. But I didn't know until yesterday when I seen the story, or actually today, Michigan. That you can't. They equate that to a disability and discrimination. You can't discriminate on a person because they're overweight.
if you can't fit a
So
person in your
that's
car,
what they're
you can't
going
fit-
after. That's what they're going after with using Michigan state law against them.
So yeah, that's. I mean, I think it's
If you
absurd.
can't put a person in your car, you
Right,
can't
but
put-
unfortunately, the law states doesn't say anything about that, and the attorney's interpreting it that person turned him down. He did turn her down because she was too freaking fat to get in his car, and he said it was too old. And he didn't have a spare tire. He was worried that she was gonna.
pop the tire.
She weighs almost 500 pounds.
See, I mean, I think it's ludicrous that they actually can expect that being used as as a form of discrimination. It's just simple practicality. I mean, you just can't squeeze that much of stuff in this much of a small of an area. It's not a possibility, and it is a safety issue. It's a
But her lifestyle, she's demanding that we accept her and her lifestyle when everybody knows to look at her that she is morbidly obese and she's going to die.
So yeah, I think is, I mean, I have to really tread lightly because I have, I've fought weight all my life, gaining, losing back.
But John, you don't weigh. You're not morbidly obese.
No, I mean, but
Your weight is not going to kill you.
but they're seeing as like the thing is in America, I was going to say that we've gotten too overarching trying to accept everybody.
No,
And
we've been forced to
we've been
accept
forced
it
to
with laws like Michigan has on the books.
Oh, yeah.
That's this law. It's
Yeah.
forcing that, making that Lyft driver look bad, and also making Lyft look bad for using common sense.
It's basically a form of unfunded mandates. They're saying you got to be able to accommodate this, but we're not going to give you the means to be able to do it. We're just going to make sure we're going to force you to do it. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's overly sensitivity. It's not being real
But,
practical.
okay, what
It's
if
not being
somebody came
practical.
into your work wanting a job that you knew, you know for a fact because of their size, the restraints of your building that she's not going to be able to fit to do that job, and then they come and sue you because you didn't hire her.
They're gonna sue you for that. They're gonna try to sue you.
But I
for
mean,
that.
how do you feel? How do you feel?
You can't get away
thing-
from them trying to sue you, but you can't do anything about it. You don't hire them for it because you don't want to put them in the position that's going to make them hurt. But here's the thing: my dad weighed 500 some pounds. You know what? My dad had a van. My dad had a Suburban.
Right, and that's
He didn't go buy a Chevette.
But that's the question. If she's such a great rapper and she's making all this money, and plus she's from Detroit, it's not like it's in some big metropolis where you can't get around with. I mean, that you can't have your own car because there's no parking. She lives in Detroit. Why does she have her own car?
Well, it's like, yeah, I mean, I like that. There's a lot of questions on that. I mean, I think it's just the government just, some politicians just see the possibility. I'm speaking for the
I think she was
disenfranchised. Well, she would be. That
She's
would
not
be.
embarrassed. She's a rapper. She goes out in front of people every night and raps and wears, well, clothes that nobody wants to look at her in,
It's like,
that are extremely tight. I mean, actually tighter than they should be for her weight.
it's-
But she's going out there loud and proud, like, ooh, everybody wants me. Nobody wants that woman, believe me.
It's like, yeah, I mean, to get to kind of change the perception of yourself. I mean, I can understand wanting to encourage people to lose weight, but anyway,
I don't know. All right, so here's the deal. The CNN anchor was visibly frustrated over Trump's rising approval. That they were really scared about that. What do
They
you think about
actually
that
got upset on the news, on CNN. They can't understand why Trump's so popular.
it's like, we don't like him. We don't like him. It's like, we don't give a crap. I mean, you're how many millions of dollars those guys make each year being, the talking heads in these networks, millions a year. They're so out of touch with the average person. I mean, come on, the price of eggs right now are setting people off.
But they're blaming that on Trump.
Yeah.
They're blaming Trump, who's only been in office, what, 7 days, a little over 7 days. Not even.
However, they don't. Go ahead.
But they're blaming Trump for the price of eggs and the price, all the food costs right now. That's Trump's fault.
Oh yeah, okay, but
Never once said anything during Biden.
yeah, no, of course not. They're very selective. I mean, it's always the double standard. I mean, if they didn't have them, the progressives wouldn't have any kind of standard whatsoever. I mean, I will judge you by this, and you can't judge me by the same thing because we're not the same. But you're going to be held accountable to a higher standard than I am.
Okay, so now Liz Wheeler though was argues that enforcing immigration laws aligns with biblical values. Should Christians support mass deportations, and uphold law and order?
It's supposed to be upload a law and order. Yes, I mean those are law and order. I mean, do I like some laws? No, but I mean, I see the benefit of deporting people who have never been vetted, who just walk through here. We have to show more ID to go cash a check, and these people can get benefits and everything. This is ridiculous. The impetus is more upon us, so to show who we are, than these people just walking casually across our borders.
Well,
that's absurd.
That's the same thing where Chip Roy just introduced a bill so no foreign interest can own property in the United States. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah. Okay.
No, I do. I actually do
Why?
agree with that. Because honestly, I do agree with that because this is our country and we can't own.
But they can't take the land with them.
What do you mean?
Well, they can't.
They
take
can
the
buy
land.
the
I mean,
land, but they can't take it
yes,
back to China.
But I agree that they can't take it back to China. But here's the thing: they can't own that land. We should be able to have our own country, our own spot, so they can do something.
So you're telling me a property owner can't sell his land to whomever he wants to sell it to?
I believe they can sell it to whoever they
Well,
want
what
to in
John's
America.
more libertarian. What do you think about
Well,
that?
see, it's like I mean, you got a valid point. That came up like in the 80s back when the Japanese were buying up a lot of property and, like landmarks, United States. And people made that case, like you just said. But I just, I don't think there should be
But
their military
but
installations.
in
That's where a lot of them are
Saudi
at.
Arabia with the alfalfa, you know how they were draining the the
Yeah.
what aqueducts?
The
Aqueducts. They
aquifer.
were
Yeah.
actually
Aquifers.
taking water from farmers
Yeah.
and they are taking the land. When they're taking the water, they use the water because to grow that. I think it was alfalfa.
Yeah.
In order to grow it, they had to use a lot of water,
Right.
hundreds of thousands of gallons of water per day. And then they are taking it overseas.
See that?
So I mean, it goes either way, don't you think?
Yeah, it does. But I don't think when China buys property in this country, it's not to say, hey, you know what, we just want to buy property so we can pretty things over, so we can have a vacation home over somewhere. It is to have militaristic viewpoints and stuff like that. It's to do something, not to sit there and beautify a different vacation homes and stuff like that. So this is not a a
But
partnering
but I
neighboring
sort of.
village.
But what
I don't
about
really agree with that.
part of the Chiproy plan is he doesn't want them near mine land near military or near military installations.
That
And he
makes
also
sense.
doesn't want them putting farmers out of business.
Business.
That's see, I think we got to. I just like to know if any of these other countries will allow on any of us to go over there and do the same thing. If they did, then fine. Welcome. Have reciprocal agreements or reciprocity or whatever they call it. I can understand that, but we don't. They don't. I don't see China for
And it's not
Western
an
people come in.
individual either; it's a corporation. I mean, it'd be a corporation or a company that would be coming
Right.
in to buy this, and that they would have a reason. Like I said, I don't want to.
But most
Farmers have a tough time with the corporate farming that's going on now.
Right.
They don't need China on their back.
No,
too.
buying and then having more money behind them than the local farmers do.
Well, would they be under okay if they allow this? I mean,
I
are they
don't-
going to be under the same conditions that the U.S. farmer is going to be forced to live under because they're U.S. citizens? No, they're not. There's no accountability there, so I can see an issue cropping up from that.
Now, this one thing about Beth Brage says Trump's first week in office was the most consequential in history. What do you think about that?
I think it's.
He signed over 300 executive orders,
Right.
and they're all good. I mean,
what I
as
think
far
is
as a
good.
Republican,
They're
they're
really
all
good.
good. I mean, John might argue that it's too many laws, but most of the things that he was signing was to rescind the
Most-
damage that's been done.
So
Right.
I'm sure I'm going to disagree with some of the stuff that Trump does and some of the people he puts in office, in the positions of his cabinet. But I mean, overall, I like the direction he wants to head this country because he's listened to the American people. He hasn't been listening to just a special interest group and lobbyist. He's been listening to the grassroots people, and I like that.
All right, let's go back to let's go back to deportations. Do you think the deportations, there was over 1,000 deportations in the last week? Do you think that's a good thing?
Well, yeah, I mean, especially if
And what
they're
happened over the weekend?
the ones I've seen. Okay, now I'll admit my ignorance on this. The ones I've seen, however, on the coverage of the news, they were people who already had contact with the
And that's
law enforcement.
exactly what he said.
Yeah.
That's what what's his name?
Tom Holman.
Tom Holman said he was going to go after the most dangerous and the first. That's where he's going to start. And he also said if he would like to go to the jails and prisons
Right.
to get these people, but some of the sanctuary cities won't let him. And if there's other illegals and they consider anyone who came into the United States illegal, they're going to pick them up too. And it's like it's their own fault. Like I said, if they're going to go after one person, then give them that one person if you want to protect the many,
Right.
right?
That's
Right.
that's what I'm saying. If that's what their intention, their priority is the high profile criminal type. Let the high profile criminal type be taken. They already demonstrate they already came here illegally and they're engaging in illegal activity when they're here. So I mean, I don't. Why would we want to bring them in and put them on our in our prison system, which is overcrowded and it costs taxpayers money?
So,
Deport them. Send them back to the country they came from.
so here's the thing about Tom Holman that I really love is that, did you see where the fact where Tom Holman reacted to the thing where the View came out and said, "Oh well, we want them to actually tell us exactly all the guys that he deported and what role and what laws that they broke." Where did the View actually come across this thing?
I don't know.
It's you know, they
But,
said it where Tom Holman comes across.
But me and
it.
John were discussing number 5 before you came in.
I'm sorry. Trump suggests deporting repeat offenders to cut costs to reduce prison overcrowding. Would this approach help deter crime, or should it keep U.S. criminals in domestic prisons?
I can understand why you want to. That's a
But
the cost.
he's talking about people who aren't going to be rehabilitated and go back out in the streets.
Right.
He's not talking about like somebody who did shoplifting or smoked marijuana or you know what I mean? People he's talking about repeat offenders. He said 16, 17, 18 times. That's what Trump said, that he would like to pay another country to house these people and get them out of our country and save a lot of money doing so.
Just
Well,
that's
you know what they used to do in World
But I
War
mean, how
II?
do you feel about what we were talking about, not what they used to do?
Well, no, okay, but let's take it back.
No, just straight out say what you have to say.
But in the old days, they used to take them, put them in the military.
No, I don't want. No, we're talking about people who murdered people.
Well, put them in the front lines.
They murdered people.
I wouldn't want them with weapons going against their own people. I mean, it's a
No,
thought. I mean, I think it's like, I mean, I'm certainly, I don't want people, we don't have the prison space to keep, there's going to be increase in this. I
They
mean,
did talk
yeah.
about what they did talk about with this one was they did talk about opening up Guantanamo Bay and putting them over there.
Did you?
I didn't hear anything about that. But what we're trying to talk about is it a good idea what Trump's saying to save money
Send 'em
and to
over
get
another
these
country.
dangerous people out of our prisons
Send 'em to another country.
that they're going to do it at a discounted rate to do it what we're doing now to house them.
See, I saw a parallel. You ever heard about Project Exile that there was, okay. Anyway, it's similar to it. But anyway, you could look it up online. But anyway, Project Exile years ago. But I think there's, you want a strong answer on this. I think it's a good thing economically. But I don't know how it's going to work out in the works if they're going to actually keep those people in prison or just release them back out to to go back home or come back here.
No, again, he said these people are the worst of the worst. They're not going to get they're not never going to get paroled. They're never going to go back out in the street. And if he can get them housed at a discount rate in another country, that's what we're trying to talk about.
Well, see, that would be a great move economically because it would be better, cheaper than building new prisons or increasing prison space. Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that on this cost savings issue on that. But I mean,
Economically, yes, but then how do you know they're never going to come back?
You don't. They're not going to. These people, they got consecutive life without parole.
Right.
Okay, it's without parole.
I
They
know.
would need a pardon. The president can still pardon somebody who's in a prison somewhere.
okay, I mean, I guess if a soft gets economic issues, I think that would probably be one of the ways to go. But at this point, that's what I'm saying. I'll say, I mean, I don't know how it's going to work out, but I mean, I think it might be the move. Again, I would stress, we can't keep on building more prisons. We can't. We don't have the money to keep those going. If we get a reduced rate, American labor is going to be, American people are going to be charged a lot more to be prison guards. So than those other countries, perhaps. So that's a savings. I don't know.
Okay, but wouldn't it make it better for the average prisoner who's in there for not worried because somebody who's never going to get out of prison might stab them?
Well, that's true. Yeah, you basically keep
It
them
does make it
segregated.
safe.
And we could use that money for the education of the people who are that we can rehabilitate.
You're making a strong case, Steve. I mean, I never even give it that much thought until you start bringing up case. I mean, I can see a lot of points you're making, and I can also see where somebody else might counter it. But I think just on a basic economic basis,
How would they counter? What would be the reason that they would want to keep a dangerous person in a prison on U.S. soil that can be housed just as well in Mexico or another South America country?
that's a good question. How
And
they pose that?
have you ever thought that by our prisoners being in these other prisons that are hellholes that we're paying for our prisons to go to, that they could be upgraded
Yeah, it's
for
true.
cheaper than they could be fixed cheaper than we can build a prison here in the United States?
I agree. I said that. I agree with that part. Like I said, I never give it too much thought, and it's like right on the wing. I can see you got some valid points, but I don't know where somebody can object, but they're going to object to anything that you do anyway, especially Trump. They're going to try to find a way to object. I mean, if it was a perfect example of everything, they'd still find some way to say, I don't know about that because it's Trump. I mean, it's true. I mean,
Anything
too
Trump
critical.
does, the left's going to have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Even if it's the most perfect thing, if Trump walked on water, come across with gold, set it down there, said whatever to do, cured cancer, did anything, the left's going to have a problem with it. No matter what, they're going to have a problem. But I think it would be a smart move because you are right. The point that you made, it would help economically. Yes, that would do it. Yes, it would help the other guys that come in for just a white collar crime. It would keep them safe. it would be able to keep our rehabilitations of the law, the criminal system better. But the problem about it is this: is if the left wing looks at it and you put
Okay,
self-same
but
to
then
it,
you don't know unless you try, right?
no, you're right.
And then if obviously he has a plan, if they come at him, then he can argue his point.
That's true.
I mean, we're not going to fix anything at our level.
No,
No.
no, that's the whole truth. All right, Anthony Mackie of the new Captain America says America should define the character. Hollywood keeps casting actors who seem to dislike our country, which is the truth.
Yeah.
And plus, he did it. He did it in Italy. He was on
I know.
a junket for his movie, and he said that. And you got to remember, Captain America was based on Captain America fought Nazis.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I guess that's not good enough now. We gotta make him gay and wearing the rainbow flag or whatever. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, why don't they come up with if these people are so disgusted with our American, icons or whatever, all those comic icons, why don't they come up with a variety of their own? See if they can
Because
get a
they ruin
following?
it. Because okay,
Because there's no one to watch it.
anybody that reads comic books, all you got are the panels, right?
Right.
There's usually what, like, I don't know, 9 pages to a story.
Right.
I mean, to a short comic, where and you get through it real fast. That's what they want to see on screen. They don't want it. They don't care. They don't care what the character thinks politically,
No.
or they want to see what they read in the comic book.
Yeah, they
And
want
that-
the action
And that's what was cool when Iron Man first came out. That's what they
Mhm.
stuck to. There was so many fight scenes and so much stuff blowing up in that movie.
yeah, just amazing. I mean, it was great. It was great. I mean, that's the thing is they can never put another person in that role. In my opinion, Tony Stark is, Robert Downey Jr. I mean, that's
Yeah.
it. He fits it perfectly. His arrogance and stuff comes through really good, and that's what he was. And Tony Stark is a very arrogant man, and to me, he's a lot like Elon Musk, by the way. But I mean, I just think that's kind of, yeah, I just don't understand why they got to make a big deal out of nothing. I mean,
Or Kristen Bell is a very good, or Michael Douglas is a good Batman, or Christian Bale is a good Dark Knight, and Ben Affleck's a good Batman. Then you bring that guy that played in Twilight as
But that's what they tried to do.
It made him Batman.
They
It's just
DEI'd the
stupid.
movie.
yeah, they
it was
just
stupid.
if you want to do something, guys, if you really want, come up with your own characters, come up with your
But-
whole entire world.
But wouldn't it be cheaper to just go back to the basics of the comic book
I would
and
think
just
so.
try to put that on screen
I-
rather than give all these stupid backstories
Yes.
that nobody cares about?
Yeah, I
Yes.
think that's exactly right. Because comic books when I was a kid I love comic books. I mean, I read quite a few of them. And what it was, I just wanted the entertainment. I wanted to see the action being
Yeah,
depicted.
but you never scratched your head. I wonder if Captain America is gay.
No, that wasn't on my
No,
radar at all.
No, nor I wonder who he voted for president.
Yeah, that's-
or who was his congressman or anything like that. No, you just wanted to escape for 2 hours and watch a movie. You just wanted to escape for 15 minutes and read
Comic book.
a comic book.
Right.
You didn't want all the other stuff. You didn't want to be
No,
preached at by these
there-
people.
I mean, think about it. A comic book movie, there's no reason to talk down to people or try to give them a. They're not coming there for a lesson in life.
No,
Right.
I mean, if they walk away, then that's fine. But I mean, I just don't. I want to see the action. Like I said, I used to love Batman comic books. And I like Batman because I like that the guy who was the vigilante because the system failed him and he couldn't get and he was a rich kid too. Bruce Wayne was a rich kid. He didn't get satisfied with the legal system. Then he had to go fight the injustice and crime and criminals on his own. And I love that. He had no special powers. He had lots of money, lots of gadgets, lots of training. That I love that. That's a person I would want to be. Not
Right.
Superman. I mean, he had special powers. Who the hell's got special powers? Bruce Wayne is attainable. The character of Bruce Wayne or Batman through that. But I mean, yeah, it's entertainment.
Right, and that's one thing that they got away from in the movies. In the comic books, he really got beat up.
Yeah,
and he
Superman.
yeah.
no, Batman.
Batman.
Oh, yeah.
He did have to recover in the comic books, where he can go and have a big old fight scene, and not
He'd be out
not
the
have
next
to
night.
recover. Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll be on to the next one.
Well, the one that Christian Bale, the movie that he was in, actually shows the effects about fighting crime. It was he was could barely walk anymore because
Yeah.
jumping off the top of buildings, getting slammed against walls, getting shot at. He had all these and problems because of that, and it actually showed. And I think that's cool. I mean, let's face it. After so many years of doing that, it's basically you're out of commission. You can't do that any longer if you can do it at
It
all.
was I liked the whole series. When you watch that whole series, it was really good because you got to watch, you know, the whole aspect of it. You got to watch him getting older, and you
Yeah.
got to watch him with the cane. You got to watch him everything like that. And you didn't get to see. You didn't sit there and watch how Bruce Wayne was. Oh my God, is he a Democrat? Is he a
No,
Republican? Is he voting for Biden? Is he, you know, is he voting for Kamala? Is he voting for Trump? You know, you didn't see all that. You didn't. And you know they try, and then you know the funny thing is you watch the Flash, and now it's hard to watch anything with the Flash
yeah,
because the way this guy was. No, I'm ton watching because I remember every May I used to look forward to watching
But
these things.
I
come
don't know
out.
about you. I've never been. I couldn't sit through the Flash, and Spider Man's the same thing. I mean, it's more geared for kids,
Kids,
right.
than it is for adults.
Right. It wasn't good. I Batman was Batman, Superman, or Man of Steel, whatever.
Right.
All right, Henry Cavill or what? Talk about this. Or, I'm sorry,
Go
this is
ahead.
totally off. Henry Cavill or Christopher Reeve? Which one is the better one when you think of?
I've only seen the one with Christopher Reeve, so I mean that's
You
what I have
never
to go with
seen?
that.
You never seen
No,
Henry Cavill?
no.
How about you?
I like the modern one better. I didn't like the Christopher Reeve. I didn't like the movies.
They were just too
Margot
stupid.
Kidder wasn't the leading lady that I think
She,
that they should have had.
Yeah.
I never liked her because I always thought the leading lady in that one should have been more a little bit naive and sweeter and stuff. And she was a kind of vulgar, and you know she.
See, I like Dean Cain a lot better. I like Henry Cavill.
Smallville.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you see, I like that one. That one, the TV series I liked with him and Terry Hatcher.
Yeah, Terry Hatcher
I
was
like
good.
Terry Hatcher. That was a good one. Well, she was still kind of you know more
Well, she was
worldly.
attractive.
Yeah, she was very attractive. Very attractive. Yeah, Margot Kidder looked washed out.
It's not. Margot Kidder's an attractive person
Yeah.
too. I mean, in a different way.
A different way, but she was. I don't know. I thought it was an odd fit back then, even myself. But you know, odd casting. But I was a kid. I was more of like, well, I think it was in junior high when that movie came out. So
All right, so Sean Fleetman says as GOP leaders are blocking Trump's cabinet picks, weakening his ability to implement policies, should Republicans be backing Trump instead of siding with Washington elites? With this goes along with the caveat with Mr. Mitch McConnell and Collins and what's the other one? Murkowski.
Murkowski, yeah.
What do you think?
I think they should. I mean, if they want to win a re-election, yeah, I think when they face if they don't go along with, they're going to face the consequences. I mean, it seems to be more of America wants what Trump's aiming at. These guys are obstructionists, and I mean, I think it's going to be at their own peril if they don't get on board with it. I do. I mean, now if they got serious opposition and make a moral claim and whatever, fine. But they don't. They just don't like it because he's not one of us. He's not like a politician. Like
But I don't know. I forget what her name is, and I don't. It didn't come out in the notes. That keep on talking.
Well,
Okay.
McConnell, I think is done.
Yeah, I think
I don't think he's. I think medically, I don't think that man could run. He's as
Well,
empty-headed
okay.
as Joe Biden is.
But they put up with Joe Biden for all that time, saying Joe Biden this he shouldn't be in office because he has dementia and everything. But they have one amongst themselves,
right.
and
Mitch
they don't do
McConnell.
anything about it. Why don't they all just have a vote to I don't know, censure him, whatever they
Or
How do you
do?
get rid of Mitch
Is just
McConnell?
take him away to say the man is incompetent. He's incompetent. What is he?
Incompetent.
Incompetent.
No, the Latin word. But anyways, he's incompetent. He can't do his job, and therefore he should be ousted. Just like the
How many times-
gay guy from that they took out from New York.
Hmm.
Anyways, but they did censure that him. They should just say
He's gone.
you are an incompetent and you don't know what's going on. It's time to go, and we're going to retire you.
That'd be consistency because they made a big deal about Biden, as you alluded to, and now they're just letting this guy go. No, be consistent. Show the people it's not partisan politics. You see the ailments and problems developing, and you're going to say it's too bad he's got it, but we got to find somebody who can step in to fill the role for the people he represents.
What-
And I don't see a problem with that.
How many times has he got to that podium and he can't even talk? He's
Right. Yeah, these
Right.
faces out. I mean,
So-
it's and just as bad as it's if not in some ways worse than Biden.
And it's kind of funny because these are the three people that every single time you see any guys that come up that Trump wants to put through there, even with Pete Hegseth, which was really great, they got voted through this week. I'm so glad he got through. Did you guys talk about that this weekend about Pete being selected?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
all.
yeah, we did.
You guys did?
Yes, the news. Yeah,
I'm sorry,
that's
I
all.
wasn't here in that show. But anyways, those are the three that actually voted against them because those are the three that actually get money from these other companies.
I mean, like the
So-
defense contractors.
Yep.
Or- yeah.
I think you'd like number 11, John.
Okay, go take a look at it.
But yeah,
Okay. Nicole Shanahan threatened to fund primary opponents if RFK Jr. isn't confirmed. Is it right for wealthy donors to use their money to influence elections, or does it undermine the will of the voters? You know what? At this point in my time and seeing this, this has been the standard. I mean, it's always some celebrity or well-financed person doing the speaking and causing
But
the initiative
but
of
she
what's going to
said
be
that she
spoken.
gave money to Adam Schiff and helped Adam Schiff get elected.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say because one time the tagline I
Right.
saw on one thing is she had been more of a supporter of the people on the left
She
beforehand.
She
Yeah.
mentioned she even said that she'll go against John Fetterman if he votes again. She gave a list. And that Lindsey Graham's on there too. That she'll go against him. That
Yeah.
she'll make sure he's.
He's primary.
Yep.
Yeah, because
She said she'll use her money. She's a billionaire.
well, she's like, and she stated clearly, and she said, now she was married to somebody, one of the,
I don't know, but
yeah,
wouldn't it be cool if her and Musk got together and came down on these people with their money?
yeah,
to
because
get
I
rid
mean,
of 'em?
I think
It'd be
where,
fine if they got married.
yeah, the
I
marriage
don't
made in
know.
Fort Knox.
He's already married, so.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, no, I think I think that's a problem is it's been so common. I don't see any real big problem with because that's the way it's always been. I mean, it's not us or you, our agenda never
Well,
reaches
but you
these
should have
people.
seen how nasty they were with him
Oh, I know.
today in the confirmation.
And it's like his own family member turned against, which I,
But I mean, in the confirmation
Yeah.
hearings, how nasty the stupid questions, especially Elizabeth Warren
did it,
asking him questions.
did any
and him and Bernie Sanders went back and forth.
had any what's in the title that they want to put him in? What's the title of that again?
Health. Health and
Yeah,
Human
Health and Human Services. Did any of those prior, candidates or people, appointees, or like actually face
No.
this much scrutiny? Hell no. And another thing is too,
No, they kiss
They-
their ass a lot.
no, I mean, there's hardly. I mean, it's coming to my. I can't remember anybody having a confrontation
But-
over this point. These type of
But
points.
you think it's a good thing that one person can wield that much power and scare these people into voting a certain way, even if they were going to vote in a certain way that she liked, which was for him to to
Mhm.
make him the Department of Human Services secretary. What I think that's
Yeah, secretary. Yeah,
The cabinet member.
either way they're screwed now.
yeah. I mean, well, I think that that's it is part. If it's part of the problem, they've never addressed it beforehand. And if anybody gets outraged, she used to support other things, those on the left. They never said anything back then.
But this should be not. This should be a bipartisan issue. It's our health.
Right. And I think I'm all behind it because I've heard what he says, and it's a lot of he said, RFK's been saying is stuff I've been hearing people say for years, stuff I've came across, and I actually, yes, we don't have to have all these damn chemicals in the food we're eating. There's no reason for it.
No,
Nobody else in the rest of the planet's got that.
He rattled off a whole bunch of things in our country, the foods that we eat, that other countries it's less than half.
Right.
They were asking stupid questions about, are you going to ban McDonald's? Are you freaking crazy?
No, he said he doesn't care. He doesn't care what anybody eats, but they should know what's in there.
Exactly. I mean, educate people here. Here's the calculated risk you're taking. Here's the information we know. It's unbiased. It's clear because we tested it. It's not from the companies.
But these are the same people that gave us the food pyramid. That if
wrong.
you ate according to that, you're going to get fat.
Well, see,
Which was wrong.
With all the carbohydrates that it recommended that you had.
I think we're seeing the after effects of people trying to follow those guidelines. I mean, in this
Well, it
country.
started when we were kids.
Yeah.
We grew up on the food pyramid.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, I remember that. Like I said, but again, that was government being bought by special interest groups and the corporation level. I mean, the producers of sugared cereals and everything else.
Sugar, and then the farmers' breakfast that the farmers never ate before. When the guy's laughing about getting stupid Americans to eat bacon and eggs in the morning.
Yeah, it is all market. We have been sold so much stuff that we never questioned because it was the government told us, and they got our best interest. It's for Food and Drug Administration. That's what they're for us, to help us make sure we got a safe food supply and drug supply.
But that's the same thing. Having a food that's loaded with carbs and then put low fat on it.
Yeah.
So people think that, okay, it's low fat, so I'm going to buy it.
Low fat doesn't mean
And then get screwed over because all the carbohydrates that are in it.
Yeah, it's low fat, but guess what? It's got enough chemicals to kill a large horse. But I mean,
Right.
yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Americans are too willing to, once they get this stamp of authority, that's what seems Americans like. This group is like, this was the watchdog, and we got to listen to them. That's not got us anywhere, has it, folks? I don't think it has.
no.
But what do you think about Trump got the water turned on in North Carolina?
In California.
In California.
I think it's a long overdue. I mean, it's like if he had been would he have been in power even when that was happening, that would
That would
catastrophic
never
event would have
happen.
been that catastrophic. So, yeah, it's like it's just and another thing is I don't understand these people. I don't. I mean,
But do you
Californians.
think it would be smart for Trump maybe to have all the insurance companies that got kicked out of California to say, what would it take to get, sit down with them and say, what would it take for you to get back to California? And then they discuss it and then they write it down and they present it to,
Yeah,
California.
yeah. I mean, but Trump approves it because, or his people approve it because it's good for the people and it's good for the insurance companies as well.
right. I think it'd be a good idea if you come up with got
But
that kind of agreement or something. I think I'd like to see it myself. I mean, we get people got to have insurance. We can understand that, but I
When he
mean,
sat down with Brad Sher when he sat down with the congressman and everything around in that round table the other day, one of the things he said was, "You know what, Brad? Brad Sherman's one of the senators or congressmen. He just said, Brad, you have to understand we're the Office of Common
you're
Sense
saying when he was at the fire station in
with
California having that
with
press and
with
right,
Brad, so yeah, and the congressmen were
right.
over
I'm
here,
trying to let people
yeah,
know what you're
right?
talking about.
And he actually said, "Listen, we're the party of common sense. We believe that water puts out fires."
yes,
And he said, basically, he said,
I,
people like
he
you,
shut everyone down in there.
right? And he said, people like you have kicked
Right.
out this. And I think what he has to do is do exactly what you're saying: is bring these congressmen in, set them on one side of the road, and say this water we just turned on is the reason why they're coming to the table, and this is why you let them walk away and have that negotiation with them, and have these
I
guys
know, but
see
we're
it.
supposed to be having a discussion here. When you take half the time to explain it just kills everything.
Sorry, go ahead.
okay,
I got it. I'll do it.
okay.
Haiti's president is deporting Haitians. Would you be cast right for his country? U.S. must secure the borders and enforce immigration laws to protect its citizens first. What do you think?
Okay, what the Haitian president is saying is if he takes these Haitians back,
Mhm.
it's going to devastate his country. And should we feel sorry for him and not send them back?
I mean,
I mean, that is Haiti is a,
terribly.
on the tipping point.
Yeah, it's
I mean, I don't understand why we don't help them more with go down there and help them.
yeah, it's like that's like we go all over the world for other places that are more I mean, better finance, and I can think of two or three major ones like Ukraine. I think more money should have been shifted over to Haiti because that's a problem right off our shore. I mean, let's face it,
But
there's
why
more.
not make it? I understand and make them have a stable government because we made the mistake. The Clintons went down there. The Democrats
Yeah, did this.
did this to Haiti. What's being done now?
This is all in their
It's their
backs.
fault for devastating that country.
Yeah, that's
So why don't we go and spend a little bit of money? I say go spend some money because we send money to Africa.
right. Why did you?
This is in our hemisphere.
Right. I mean, it's
Why
like
not help them out and become a better country?
yeah. I mean, it's like the other thing is too. If we don't want the problems that they have coming over here, the problem people, okay, then guess what? Make them so they can better handle the situations there. They can handle it. And they can
I
make.
mean,
There's
you've been
rational
around.
people.
Have you ever been to Haiti?
No,
No.
I've never been to Haiti.
Most people, I mean, it's usually not a tourist destination, but for
No.
most people, but church groups I know have gone down there and try to help out. But
That's never been one of the mission trips I've ever been to. Sorry.
no, but I mean,
I know people have been down there. I've never been down there. So now there was gunfire though exchanged between the Border Patrol and the cartel members at the southern border. Now the cartel violence threatens the
Well,
national
no,
security.
but now that Trump's designated them terrorists, we're allowed to go
Yeah,
into Mexico
yeah,
to take care
take
of that
care of
stuff.
them. So
What do you think?
I think if they mess around and find out
You know,
that what's going to happen to them, they're not going to like because
do you think it's going to be different now because Pete's up in
well, they're going
command?
to have somebody down there. They're going to make an example, and then of course the press is going to make a big deal
yeah,
of it. But right now, most of the press, well, they think they're the press, CNN and MSNBC. Nobody cares what
They're
they
not
think.
really going down there because there's people shooting and they're going to not want
But
to
it's
get
the
in a fight
same
as well.
thing with they're trying to get that moment with these people. We're saying they're trying to get a crying mother with children
mhm,
being deported, but it hasn't happened. Because one of the reasons things like that haven't happened because Tom Holman's pretty cagey and not letting them know they're
Where
not
he's at.
where he's at. They're just going and doing what they're doing, and the press is chasing after they've done it.
Yeah, if they just get the major people they remove from our shores, are the ones that are the violent offenders, the ones that already been connected to our criminal justice system, got rid of them. I could see that'd be great society, great relief. That's it. I mean, I don't think other than being here illegally, I don't think every person coming over here illegal is going to be a violent offender. I don't believe that for
But
a minute. I don't.
I don't think he's seen the press conference, but you've seen it, right?
Mhm.
Where they tried to get, I forget who it was, tried to get her in a gotcha moment and
Was
said,
it
how many of these people can you break down the crimes that they committed? And then what did she say?
Mhm.
They all
Came in our
came
country.
into our country
Illegally. Yeah, it's
Right.
like another thing is too. I saw somebody posted something that they were being picked up because they overstayed their visa in Mexico. The cops were there picking her up. I mean, it was I forget I should have posted it, sent it you and Steve, but yeah, they sent she goes, I was here a month over my visa and they come and picked her up in a van and brought her back to across this way. I mean, nobody else tolerates that kind of stuff. I mean, you overstay your visa, you're out of there.
Well, there was one where they stopped Tom Holman. A reporter stopped him. A girl stopped him, and tried to give him a gotcha moment, and she said, "But there's this one college student," and he pulled up his sleeve and he showed a bruise, and and Tom Holman goes, if you looked at, he pulled out the 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 ordinance number and everything. He said, we never ever touched them up on their arm."
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh," and he goes, "So there should be no bruises up there. So show me where that ordinance number is." And he just kept on walking by her. She's like, So they're trying to get, like Steve said, they're trying to get gotcha moments. They're not going to get them. So Biden's Department of Defense policies weaken the military readiness. Trump's leadership's restored focus on American intents. Should Trump bring back his strong military policies? I
He
think
already
yes.
has. He already started. I'm getting the transgenders out of the. Okay, getting just anybody with mental health issues.
Out of the military.
Period. Out of the because if you're transgender, you have what's dysmorphia, right?
Dysmorphia. That's what I've always thought.
Which is categorized as a mental health. If you're taking pills to help you get through the day, you're not the type of person that we need in the military.
because
Not with a gun.
another thing is too.
Unless the military did it to you, then you should be medically retired.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like you're in a forward position. I mean, eyeglasses were a big issue when my dad was in Korea. If you broke your eyeglasses, they always had to have 2 or 3 pair of them set aside so that with them, so in case one broke. But I mean, that was a simple, corrective vision. And now, I mean, you got people who have on psychotropic drugs.
When I was in the military, I was on most of my military service was I was on jump status. So that was the nicest part of jump status. If you had people you didn't want, you just take them off jump status for 6 months, and
You
they
just
were gone because they couldn't be in the unit anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, they went and there was somebody else's problem, but they
But they
weren't
were on
ours.
your jump.
Well, see, preparedness has got to be the full focus, not satisfying some some bizarre agenda. I mean, that's what it's basically. All military thing is being there at the right place at the right time with the right people to do the objective, get the objective done. If you're having people who are having major mental breakdowns and are constantly
mean,
healing from surgeries,
But yeah, how long do you think it take? Have you ever seen how hard it is about doing skin grafts
Yeah.
from your arm or from your, depending on which surgery you're getting?
you're open to all kinds of
And
infections and
yeah, you're not going to be able to go to the field because of infections after one of those surgeries. And one of them, if you're doing the male to female, it takes like 2 years to recover from that completely.
I mean, it's a wound, okay, especially when
Right.
male has a member
I
removed.
didn't want to get into
Yeah.
that.
But I mean, it's a constant, never healed wound. I mean, I don't see how that's going to be okay with being prepared. You're not. You're going to be. You're in a precarious
And then
precarious
come to
state.
find out that if you made a life decision, you can't go back.
Right.
They might even make them in a worse mental state after that.
It's supposed to the conflict of being in the major of a stress under warfare conditions. I mean, I don't see how it's a smart
But he
move.
put a stop to transgender surgeries.
Right.
I mean, it's like in the
But now he also signed in order to restore integrity and lethality to the U.S. military. He modernized
He
forces.
did
and
that
planned-
with Pete, putting
Yeah.
Pete in the head of it.
Yeah.
I
The
mean, it's
policy
Pete's
strike
job.
down.
He says what he wants done, and it's Pete Hex's job to do it.
Right.
And he's already started.
no, he
That
obviously.
started Monday. It was really good. His first day.
But But obviously Trump's not doing this. He's a business person. He's going to admit he doesn't know everything about military affairs. He's going to be listening to people who are the ones that actually had a track record and not before all this sensitivity and DEI crap came to existence. So he's going to go back to those standards. And I think that's going to be the best way to go. I do.
Okay,
Right.
but one of the things I want to ask you guys, because I'm the one that's responsible for putting it up on the internet, and I'm the one that answers most of the comments. How do you tell these people who we are and what we do here?
When people ask me,
I'm asking you,
I always tell people
who are we and what do we do?
we're basically the most we're most politically incorrect group I've ever met. We just talk about
We discuss. What do we do, John?
Oh, I think I think we actually give it I think we look at things from all perspectives, and I think we're just three guys who basically seeing how our country's being impacted.
But bottom line, it's our opinion on things, and you don't have to agree with our
No.
opinion. If you don't like what we have to say, you can put it in the comments, or you can just move on to the next video.
Yeah,
you don't
I mean,
have
we're
to
not
agree
going
with
to
us.
change.
we know we're boomers, by the
We
way.
don't
know
even
that.
agree with each other.
No,
No,
no.
right? Like
You
right
don't.
now, I don't agree with a lot of stuff that we're talking about. But keep on going.
No, yeah, I mean, but it's like what it is we're I think we're a good cross section of what other people are thinking, the impulse. I mean, even if it's just the transitory thoughts when they hear a subject being presented, their reactions, and that's what I think because a lot of stuff we don't get a lot of chance to like weigh in on, like do research.
I
on.
mean,
We're
but
just
that's
doing
the
our
whole
gut level
point. Is
reaction.
what I'm trying to do here is
Right.
just get your opinion
Right.
on these things,
Right,
and just if we don't know, we just move on.
right.
Okay, so I didn't get a chance to talk. Can I ask you guys a question? I didn't
Yeah.
get yours opinion. What's your and this is not on here.
Yeah.
What is your opinion of Pete Hegseth as the DOD?
I think it's a great choice. I mean, got a proven track record. I think he's embodiment of what we want to see in our military. I mean, and I think he's going to be the one trying to be the
I mean, it's
Lead
what I've
people.
always envisioned, and what I've always wanted is to have one of us in a leadership position to make decisions. Who's been on the lines and who's had bullets shot at him and knows how it feels
Right.
to be there and what's going on. And yeah, I think it was a great decision. Instead of having somebody who's come up through the ranks and is so far removed from a private does
Right.
to what he does as a general, and have because all he got is a bunch of yes men around him,
right.
and then you've actually got someone who's I got like I think he's only been out since 2015. He doesn't. It's not that far.
No,
well,
he's only been out.
it's not
2 years.
whatever. It's not that long ago when he
Right.
was in uniform
Right.
to now where he's leading up
Okay.
the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard.
Well, this is
and he's worried about the man on the front line.
Well, okay. This is to you guys because you both are veterans. You being in the Navy, Steve being in the Army. Did all the other ones that were in that position beforehand during the time you were in the military? Did you have a lot of respect for in the same position?
I didn't even know who they were.
Oh,
Chances are I was never going to see him other than on TV.
No.
See, that's telling right there. I mean, at least at least this current group of people, you hear more about them,
They know more about this guy
Right.
than anybody else that's ever been put in
More
more position.
more transparency.
But
Trump's.
But in all fairness, the internet wasn't around as valiant as back
No,
then, it was
these people were prized animals.
Prized pigs.
You might as well call them
Yeah.
that. They were just put into
Yeah.
office because it was their turn.
Yeah, that's all it was. Because I mean, I can't remember
I
if
mean,
they.
It was a
Trump,
political thing back
all
then.
of Trump's
Wow.
picks are just random. I'm not gonna say random. It's people that he thinks could do well. It's not the next person that was in line for the position.
Right.
See, that's what I was. See, you make a point that I'd like to follow up on. It's like he was a man in the trenches, actually faced the dangers. The other ones
I'm
basically.
not saying no. The other ones, some of them were
Some were
there,
good.
but they're so far removed.
Yeah,
they're
some
they're
were
like
years.
30 years removed
Right.
from that. Where
Right.
Pete Hexa is like in the last, I don't know, 10 years maybe
Yes.
from it, who still knows how it feels to not be able to get ammunition when you needed it.
Well, see, so he's fully familiar with the average person in the trench is going to face. So the other people, like you said, were kind of removed from it because of the expanse of time. And he's got the checklist. He's a military man. He's actually served several. I mean, he was a career military guy, correct? So I mean, he's got all the checkpoints. If he wasn't just a pointy, the major sticking point is he's somebody that Trump likes, not because he doesn't have the established criteria that they have already tried to establish. He's got it.
I mean, it was the same argument that they tried to bring up with Kennedy. You've never been in charge of that many people. How are you going to do it?
Right.
Right.
And the same thing, Pete Hexa. I like you and everything, but I'm worried that you've never been in charge of that many
Right.
people. How are you going to do it? Well, that's the people. You don't do it. You do it as a team,
Right.
and you oversee the team. You tell the team what you want, and then give them a chance to do it, and then go and check behind them to make sure everything's running good, and counsel them.
Denmark is increasing its military control over Greenland.
Okay.
The Arctic is a very critical security zone. Should the U.S. assert its dominance and counter foreign influence? Should we actually do this? It's kind of interesting that Denmark
Well,
is
okay,
actually increasing its military control now.
You're talking about Denmark and
Yeah.
Greenland, right?
Right. Yeah.
They can do whatever they want. I mean, it doesn't mean. Of course, they're going to go back and forth. Have you ever tried to buy a used car?
Yeah.
You make them an offer, right?
Right.
And then they come back with something, and I'll think about it.
Right.
And then you make a counter. And it's all it's going back and forth. It's the art of the
It's
deal with
relative.
everything that he does.
Right.
I mean,
It's
same
just-
thing with Colombia. Look what he did to them.
Oh, that was cute. We don't want these guys. The next thing goes,
There you
"We
go.
got a
No,
tariff."
but the thing is, if somebody talked about elasticity in the economy, that okay, the meaning that Colombia, we don't get coffee from them, but there's other coffees that can easily replace that
Right.
Colombia coffee. That it's not going to hurt the economy any if you did put tariffs on Colombia coffee, because there's so many other coffees out there that could be bought
Right.
without a tariff.
Right. So basically,
People forget about that.
there's pressure. I mean, of course, I don't know. I think it's kind of stupid. They don't want to take their own people back. I mean, they got away from you.
But the only thing, like I said, Haiti wasn't flying the people out.
Mm.
Catholic services, or is it
Social-
Catholic
Catholic
charities?
charities.
Yeah.
They're the one. People like them were the ones that were flying the Haitians, and plus they had special. I forget what he wrote. He gave them paperwork. Joe Biden gave them paperwork that had like an exemption to, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
that they could show.
Mhm.
So the Biden's administration did that. I think Trump needs to look at Haiti. Haiti's gone. How long? It's been since first time it's ever come up my radar was, I think, in '96.
Yeah.
So it's been that way. In '92, I think, was the uprising, wasn't it?
Yeah. And that's all during the Clinton era. The 8 years of Clinton. I mean, Bill Clinton.
I think I would see it as an investment for the United States if they went down there and fixed it. And my other argument is Dominicans on the other side of the island, they're doing well.
Right. Yeah, and
So why don't they just give Dominican money to go help the Haitians?
because they already got a proven track
No,
record.
I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, they got a proven track record. The Dominicans have financial stability. They have political relative.
I don't
political
know
stability.
if they argue back and forth.
Oh, yeah,
That
yeah.
might be the problem. But anyway, I see it as an investment for the United States. What do you think?
That would be a good investment
Yeah.
because they are closer. Because if we are doing, like you guys said, if we're putting money over Ukraine, why aren't we doing something closer to home that would actually help improve what's going
And
on?
besides, I mean, the Haitian people deserve. I mean, they deserve
They do deserve
They
it.
do
They've been
deserve
beat
it.
up enough.
And you could blame France because it was
French
under
colony.
it was French colony for hundreds of years.
Yeah, but
and-
the French vacated any kind of
just left them.
responsibility. Yeah,
They left them all just
on their own. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
and that's the problem is the aftershocks of colonialization, and America's. We're a colonial.
When
power
it's
to
not
some
done
degree.
right.
It's not done
No,
right.
I'm saying it's the aftershocks
It's
when it's
done
not done
right.
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 when they've totally raped them from all the resources,
right.
and they just leave them.
Right. It's like at least when England left the country, they did have stuff established and running and left it behind. Of course, it fell apart later, but I mean, at least they did that. And they like when they had it over India to the Indians again. I mean, they had established all kinds of those things that were pretty good for the Indian people overall. Nobody wants colonization. I'm not saying that, but I mean,
No.
but I'm not
Well,
saying that.
And I'm not saying the United States goes down there and takes over. I'm just saying, yeah, you just give them money with strings, and maybe you do run their country or help them run their country for X amount of years. And when you feel that they can handle it, then you give it to them.
Right. I mean, it's right off our shores. I mean, what's it, 80, 90 miles off our shore?
I'm not
Not
sure.
that.
It's like that far away. I mean, I don't see how we can think we're so isolated from it. Because I mean, I've seen seen video. I had friends who went down there.
Well, I
Church
mean,
group.
it's the same thing. Don't you think it's time to give up Cuba and fix our relations with them too? I understand that there's people, there's just Cubans in Florida that won't vote for Republican if they do it.
Which I don't understand that because often wondered about that because I know the expat community of Cubans in Florida and stuff are staunchly Republican. But my thought was always this: if they try to establish normalized relations between Cuba and the United States soon after the takeover, I don't think that Castro's will lasted as
Well,
long.
why not bring them together? Get the Cubans in Florida together with the Cubans, the actual Cubans
that are in
that live in Cuba. Figure something out and fix that. Why not have another great country
Right.
that we've helped and maybe turn them? We say that they're communist and everything. Why not help them out?
Get 'em
That's
away
what I've
from-
never understood.
Jim from the Communist
I mean,
Party.
They're still communist and thing, but look at basically it's like a family rule. I mean, with the Castros,
But Canada goes there for vacation.
Yeah.
We're the only country that does a vacation there.
right? It's like yeah, because Germans send tourists there. I mean, they still make great cigars. I mean, I never had a Cuban
It's beautiful
cigar.
there.
I mean,
Yeah.
and we can go to Cuba, but you'll be under
Investigate.
investigation probably.
All the pictures you see from Cuba is beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it's like yeah, I mean, I think it's a good country, right?
But
off
the
the-
Dominican could be the same thing.
Right.
Not Dominican,
Yeah,
but
Haiti.
the Haitian country could be the same thing. Haiti.
I mean, I think I don't like the conditions they live under because I mean, let's face it. I mean, I don't know a lot of diseases because they don't have proper nutrition, they don't have proper
Think
access.
about
to
it. We can
medical
bring.
care.
I mean, did you see how much they were spending on condoms? Did they stop
$50 million.
$50 million went going to Palestine for condoms?
So
So why couldn't they just take that? How much? I bet you that $50 million would do well there. But also, I was thinking, don't you think it's better that they? I know Trump's frozen.
Wait a second. On top of that 50 million, there was over 340
Right,
million
it's
going over
crazy
Ukraine
money.
Yeah.
But maybe we need to fix things here.
Right, but
before we
But I
send
feel good about Haiti because it's in our hemisphere.
I see that as I mean the way because of the the connection to us in distance, it's a lot better than sending it to Ukraine. I mean let's go
Well,
spend more money to them.
it's like just taking the money we would want to spend from here, right? Up from the money from Lansing to sending it up to Marquette
Mhm.
or Marquette.
Right,
That's about as
but
far
to
as that
just,
money would go.
yeah, that's about
Versus taking the
the
money from sending it from here to freaking Cuba.
Right.
That's as far as it is.
And thank you for Glenn's for messing up things further, by the way, before those people there. I don't think I'd want to be a Clinton heading to Haiti. I still think they're persona non grata there, but
All right, so Denmark. So, anyways, how about this? Google is now. This is here in my Facebook post. I saw this morning. People are like going freaking crazy over this, but Google is updating its maps to reflect Trump's renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf
Because
of
it's going to be
America.
renamed in all the United States textbooks, anyways. Because
McKinley.
he made an executive order.
Right.
It's done. It's a done deal. In the United States, recognizes as we're we're South America and North America, anyways.
Right.
So we're two kinds. So what difference? It should have been the Gulf of the
Americas, yeah.
or Americas.
right, that's what I thought.
At the beginning.
Because it's like it's not just in Mexico or Canada, it touches the other part of the continent, other part of the continent. So I mean
North and South America.
yes, I mean it should have been named
It
that
only makes
before.
sense.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, basically, he's too much common sense. I mean, here's where it's at. Why is it labeled this? Well, we'll
We
change the
also
label.
did, well, get McKinley back, which I thought was really good too, because he actually.
Well, and also,
wanted
I guess Fort Bragg is going to be Fort Bragg.
Yeah.
The forts are going back to their rightful names again. That was so stupid, dude, to spend all that money to rename forts. Who are they going to make feel better?
Yeah, it's like
The soldiers that are there.
yeah, what's the name of this place?
I love saying that I'm stationed at Fort Bragg.
That's I mean, yeah, it's because
I'm going to go to Bragg.
yeah. I mean, I always thought it was like the standard place to go. I mean, most people I know went to Fort Bragg, when they were training and stuff. I mean, I don't know. I mean, just
my only shore duty is gone now. I found that out.
It's underwater.
No, it's gone. They
Oh.
got rid
What?
of it. My shore command
Yeah, what's the name of it?
is gone.
well, yeah,
They got rid of it.
Okay, what's the name
What's
of
the
it?
name of
It was called Naval Command Telecommunications Command. They got rid of it. They changed it to another command. It's gone. It in DC. It was in Washington DC. They got rid of it back in 2010.
Because they didn't need it.
they didn't need it no more.
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's like it becomes obsolete. I can understand why they made
Not
that
only
move.
did they do that, they got rid of my rate. So I'm just basically erased from the Navy. Anyways. So ICE conducted operations in St. City Targeting criminal illegals. Sanctuary cities protect illegal immigrants or citizens. Should these
And
policies
yeah,
be
we have a
banned?
new one. We have two new ones right here in Michigan. One of them as of last night up near Grand Rapids.
Yeah, I heard about
They
it.
designated themselves sanctuary cities
Yeah, that's right.
because they're going to protect their local. I mean, if you listen, Trump's a man of his word and Tom Holman, I think he's definitely a man
Very
of
much.
his words. If they're saying they're going after bad guys, I was a mayor or a township supervisor or someone, maybe more of a mayor because usually a city has a jail
Mhm.
where a township
Right.
doesn't have a jail. That you could get rid of some people and then have more money to spend on other things.
I think
I'd be all for it to get rid of these people
that's
because they're bad. If they're bad people, you don't want them in your jail because what they do is make other bad people.
it's not a
What? This is not where you want to make your name. I don't understand why these guys are trying to make a name out of this. They're trying to, oh, I'm sticking up to Tom Holman, I'm sticking up to Trump. Are you stupid?
Tom Holman's one man. They believe me. ICE is all over, and especially in Genesee County with Fang, because they've already Genesee County was national news because we got rid of two people.
Mm.
We were like one of the first. Genesee County was the first with our sheriff to
Chris
get rid of
Swanson,
two
yeah.
people to ICE. So
Now they did arrest Trend. I can't. This guy. I don't.
the trend
Trend de Rango.
yeah,
in
and they went to
New York City shows that the impact of ICE raids are actually working.
but that was Colorado where you seen them that
Right.
that took over that
That-
motel, no-tel.
I just think that I think it's a good idea to get rid of bad people. I don't
Was that
understand why
okay?
somebody has an issue with that. I just
Is that at that apartment complex?
Yeah, that I don't know where it was where they arrested the people. You said it was in New York,
Right.
but what I'm saying is where they took over and it was publicized over TV where they were going door to door, and Trump saying that they take over real estate the easy way. They don't have a middleman. They
It's
do it by gunpoint.
direct method.
Oh my god. Here's one for you. The Leland Democratic Party chair called for a death penalty for Trump supporters. The left extremist rhetoric is escalating. How should
What number is that?
this is 24.
Wow, I gotta take a look at that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You
This
shouldn't
one.
be calling you shouldn't be threatening people.
Oh, I mean, that's acceptable, folks. I mean, on the left. I mean, you don't like when people's feelings are hurt when they talk about transgender, and you're allowing them
Who
to
is this
call.
guy?
Why aren't you going after these people? Why aren't you disavowing this guy?
Who is this guy?
I don't
I
even
don't
know.
know. I mean, that's why I told you put it in your own words.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, I don't know where you guys can get off doing this or calling for that. I mean, I know I'm not saying all the left or the progressives are calling, but I mean, why
No,
aren't you
but
calling
this
this guy out on this?
How did this weekend go?
This weekend actually was good. We actually did a show in Jackson. It was
Who's we?
Julie and I for Our Town Snacks. We actually did a wholesale show for the Mid Michigan Souvenir Show.
Mhm.
It was really good because we actually found out that doing wholesale shows actually worked better for me than driving up and down.
And what do you
75.
sell?
We sell our chocolates and we're coming out with that Bet's Pretz. Those
I mean,
pretzels.
but me and John had some of the chocolates. You have a variety.
Great
You have
chocolate.
what, like I don't know,
Salt caramel.
But I mean, if you had to guess, how many different types of chocolate do you think?
We actually do 5 right now.
5.
We
And
are
then
actually coming out
also,
with 2 more.
then also you have some what are the air stuff?
Oh, those freeze dried candies.
freeze dried candies, and then you have pretzels.
We come
You
out
have
with
a
pretzels.
bunch of different things that you sell. But
Right.
but do you think people are more free with their money
Yes.
than the last show that you did now that Trump's president?
I think that we saw store owners a lot more free this time and ordering more. We
But I'm
actually went
saying
with
at
different things.
I was
They've
asking
not
at
done.
the show.
I think I mean
Did
a
you
lot more.
you think you did more sales over the weekend than
Mm.
usual or the same?
we did more percentage sale. So we did
What-
bigger percentage. So like they weren't a lot of
So you sold more.
right. We sold more of a bigger percentage, yes. What I'm trying to say is that we didn't have a lot of people coming through the show,
Right.
but we
Yeah, I
sold,
understand.
we sold a lot more percentage. So
So
instead
you're
of selling
saying by
five-
volume,
right.
if you broke it down,
We sold a higher
You did.
volume.
if you just went by the number of people that you
Mhm.
sold stuff to, you did well.
Yes. And actually I met something that really I wanted to talk to you guys about. I think I found the future of what's going to go on with shows. With what's come with these people had an awesome idea that I wanted to talk to you about. I think the future is coming to with like show
where
sales.
people actually go live on the internet. And
Yeah,
Yeah, and so basically do direct sales to people joining in. Like it's almost like a QVC. If
like
Yeah,
almost,
it's
show,
like
like
a
showing
QC.
people
Yeah.
things and saying, look, this is available with this vendor. By show of hands, how many of you would like to purchase
yeah,
something
and they
from this
can buy
person?
in, they can talk about it, they can negotiate the prices right there. And they had their own app. People were going in there talking about it, and they were right there. Like they said, we have 5 of these left, and people were like, I want this, and people were like, they could, you know, fighting on over each other and trying. This person over here had their group of followers, this person had their group of followers. So vendors who would pay like 150,
So the
250.
way this works is they go through, they go to a vendor and say, what do you got? And they
Right.
show it to their viewers. The viewers looks at it and say, well, I want some of those chocolates. So they obviously got an app that they go to, and
They were just showing the different things. They were showing
well,
our
there has to be a way where the people
go find them.
money's
Find
exchanged.
them.
yeah, they were ordering online. They were going on their store line. They were saying, I want this, and they were putting the orders in. And
So they
were
just weren't saying it in chat.
no, they were
They
yeah,
were
they were going
okay.
on their
But as you, as a person, so do you have a better feeling for the upcoming shows that they're
I
going to
do. I have a better feeling for all the shows coming up. I think that we are this week. We're going to go to Mount Pleasant. We'll be in Mount Pleasant
What's the name of the
Friday
show in
at
Mount Pleasant?
Shipshawana. We'll be at Shipshawana Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Now that's a bigger show, Shipshawana on the road, right?
Right. That
So
one's in the room.
does it cost more money to have a table with Shipshawana than it does
This one, no. This one we were just at was like $500
for the
3 days.
table?
For the table. Shipshawana is like about $200. for-
That's crazy. I would think Shipshawana
'cause it's
because
better
of all the
established.
radio advertisement and things that they do. So they not only make money from the tables, but the sponsorships
Mhm.
is the way that probably Shipshawana.
Well,
makes money.
Shipshawana makes money 2 ways. They make money from the people coming in. They charge people $5 coming in the door. These people, they make no money coming in the door
I mean, the people that
for those
yeah,
shoppers.
yeah.
The
Well,
buyers.
Shipshawana, you have a bigger expectation
right.
of if you go to Shipshawana and put
Right.
a table up, you're going to make money.
Right.
Where like you had a problem at a show up in Bay City where it was just a sunny day. It wasn't the vendors. It wasn't the person that set it up.
No,
It was just an abnormally nice day
Right.
that day.
and the Lions were winning. It was a
Yeah,
great
the
season.
people
Everything like that.
Okay, a question I got to ask though. Okay, the kind of pricing they're going to get, through this, like a retail pricing, or are they capable also like negotiating the wholesale prices if they wanted to get the product and sell it there at their
These-
venues or whatever?
These guys, well, the people online, this online thing, they
Right.
were actually paying retail price. The people on the apps were, but they were also able to get special deals and everything. These guys were offering special deals and everything. So I honestly think that this team that they're doing this, will
Do you
be
know
a-
the name of the people?
It's called this Doodle Shop, and it's 2 girls, and they just go around to all these different shows, and they do it.
And
I've never seen anything like this.
And they do have an app though that
They have an app,
Yeah.
and I'm going to actually meet them again on February 8th. I want to have you come with me. It's going to be in Clio, if you can, or if I can get one of you guys to come with me, or if you can set me up where I can do this. But I'd like to meet with them again, and they're going to try. I'm thinking they're coming to our show on February 8th, and they're just two women from Macomb County, and I would like to get started doing that kind of stuff too, so that basically we can
Well,
get things going out
I
there.
think you need to focus on stuff that you got going and trying to stop juggling too much stuff.
This week has just been bogglingly crazy. So
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I like
think it's
that.
time to play the
Yeah,
music. John.
okay, then.